Hello world, my name is Sari Lee and I'm a first year taking CS50 at Yale. In this screencast, I'd like to introduce you to a website through which users can buy and sell stocks. After I ran Flask Run in CS50 IDE, I was directed to this login page where I'm asked for a username and password. Let's pretend that I don't have an account, so I'm going to click on the Register tab to create a username and password of my own. For simplicity's sake, my username's going to be Sari Lee, and now when I click on the password box, a message pops up. Okay, so it's telling me that the password needs a minimum of 8 characters, at least one of which should be a number. Just to see what happens when I don't meet these requirements, I'm going to type in Sari Lee as my password. This has 7 characters and it does not include any number. And then I'm asked to confirm my password, so I'll type in Sari Lee again. When I hit register, I get an apology message that reminds me of the password requirement. Okay, so now I'll create an account with a password that actually meets the requirement. And again, for simplicity's sake, the password's going to be 12345678. 12345678 to confirm. And I'll hit register. Now that we've made an account, we can go to the login page and submit our username and password. Sari Lee and 12345678. I successfully logged in, and now I'm at my website's homepage, which contains a table that's telling me that I currently have $10,000 in cash. With these $10,000, I can buy stocks. Before I decide which and how many stocks to buy, I want to look up the price of a certain stock. To do that, I'll click on the Quote tab, which directs me to this form. I'll type in the symbol of the stock I'm interested in. Let's say Apple, AAPL. After I submit the form by clicking on Quote, I'm directed to a new page that tells me the current price of one Apple stock. Now that I know the price of the stock, I'll click on the Buy tab to buy some shares of Apple. I'm asked to type in which stock I'd like to buy, which in this case is Apple, AAPL, and how many. Let's say I want 3. Click Buy, and I successfully bought 3 stocks, and now on my homepage, the table is showing how many shares of Apple I bought and how much cash I have left. Let's say that I now want to buy some Netflix stocks. I'll click on the Buy tab again and type in Netflix, NFLX, the symbol for Netflix, and to make things interesting, I'll type in -1. But buying -1 shares does not make any sense, so let's see what happens after I click Buy. It's loading. Okay, so I got an apology message reminding me that the number of shares I type in needs to be positive. Okay, so now I'll go back and change that -1 to 2. Oops, Buy NFLX and 2. Okay, so that was a success. Now I decide that I want to sell some stocks. I can do this by clicking on the Sell tab and choosing which stock, either Apple or Netflix, I want to sell. Let's say I want to sell some shares of Apple, but I accidentally type in 4, which is greater than the amount of Apple shares I own. In turn, I get this apology message that says I can't sell more than I own. So I go back and change that 4 to a 2, and this time, it seems to have successfully worked. The table on my homepage is telling me that I now have only 1 share of Apple, as opposed to the previous 3. Another way I can make sure that this transaction was made is to click on this History tab, which will bring me to a table of all the transactions I've made. And it's telling me that I did indeed successfully sell 2 shares of Apple. Well, that was it for CS50 Finance. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.